All right, all right. What's up, you guys? You are live with Finance Carice. We are live on hot7025fm.com. And listen, we got another Hotlyte in the building for you today. Some fresh space, you know what I mean? And we got some dope music and all of that good stuff. Listen, this guest is pretty charming, I would have to say. So, ladies out there, if you tap into that Instagram, okay, you might get a little bit of charm, all right. But listen, let's go ahead and get right into it. I got Sean Cassidy live in the building right on hot7025fm.com. How you feeling, King?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I actually wanted to get out the house to do the interview. I'm just going to walk. It's
you know,
just a vibe
you
right
know
now.
what? Listen, I'm all about like energy and being in a space where you could just like breathe and you just feel comfortable. So do you? So listen, what is your day like? You're out here. We're about to tap into how you got into everything and the new music that you have coming up, and some other things that you got going on. But like,
hmm
what is your day like? What was your day like today?
Pretty busy. So I was at home with my daughter pretty much all morning. We kicked it. Um, I had a interview at 4:30. I just wrapped up with Ruben Wood. And now I'm here. So a pretty productive day. I've been on the phone all day trying to handle some business.
Gotcha, gotcha. So listen, I've been checking out your Instagram. I've been seeing that you are out here. You're doing a lot. You got a lot of a huge supportive team that's really pushing you, and
hmm
which is why we ended up connecting. But it seems like you got a major buzz going on, and I want to know like when did you start in music? Where are you from? Like what are all of these things
Yeah.
that kind of made Sean Cassidy? So let's start off with where are you from?
So I'm actually from Dayton, Ohio. I grew up there pretty much all my life. I been really into music since like 2016. But before that, I was actually pretty much obsessed with basketball. So I played 4 years of college ball. I've been playing piano since I was like six, and I was in band as well. Basically like AAU band in school. So
Shout out
I
to band
played,
camp.
pretty much any percussion instrument, tom, snare, bass. Dibbled and dabbled into some guitar. So yeah, so like everything kind of came full circle to make sense. When I started to do music, because I already had
The
a music
basics.
background exactly, and I understood composition and music theory already. So when it was time to do music, I recorded my first song in March, and I came out with an album in September.
Dope, dope. So, shout out to another band, from a band geek to another band geek. You know what I mean? Like, salute to you for, definitely staying on, keeping those skills because when you don't do it for so long, like you're like, okay, can I jump back on this bike and ride it again? So, it's definitely good
Mm-hmm.
to have like that
Mm-hmm.
as a background, and it's good too to have that when you are an artist to say, oh, but I know how to do this too versus like going in
Yeah.
having someone completely produce everything. You have no say so in it and you just go with what they say or what their beats are or however they want to compose the song. So shout out to you for having that as a background as well.
No,
So
for sure,
listen.
for sure. Like I said, it's all making sense now. Like when I was playing basketball, like I had no thought in my mind to do anything with music. It was more just like a hobby. Like when I was, in the second grade, my music teacher would come, into class and to get me to play in front of the school and stuff. And I didn't think nothing of it because I always just knew how to play piano. So, I never even thought of expanding on that until I was on a bus ride. Um, my last basketball tournament was in Alabama, and I was thinking like, what's my next obsession? Because I was really obsessed. Like I bust my butt playing basketball. Like, you know what I mean? I worked out all day, like by myself. Didn't need anybody to tell me to kind of get in the gym. So I basically took that athlete, perspective on how to attack things and how to, put your own work in when nobody's looking, and I applied that to music.
Absolutely. I think that's pretty dope. Like just knowing that you have that in your back pocket. Let me find out you break out and play some piano on a tour. How tall are you? Because how tall are you? Because I know all
Six
of us want to
three.
know. 6'3"? Okay.
I'm 6'3". Yeah,
So what did you play? What position you play? Forward?
I was actually a shooting guard. I
Dope.
played at Wilberforce University and Central State University. They're both HBCUs in Ohio.
Shout out to HBCUs, Joe. We definitely support and
Big
show
shout out to
love to all,
HBCUs.
yeah, to all HBCUs out there for sure. Well, listen, you know what? It's very refreshing to hear, everything that you have within your background. Because a lot of times we
Hmm.
talk to artists and they've had like, the toughest life ever. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and it's great to understand like yes, I actually successfully went through these tasks in my life and I completed them and then they were helpful to me in the future. So, shout out to you for that
Hmm.
for sure.
Hmm.
So you have a
Yeah,
new
I actually,
album? Go ahead.
yeah. So, well, no. So I actually have two singles that I'm pushing right now. I have Energy that it was produced by Drummer Boy,
Right. Shout out to
which
Drummer
is
Boy. He
it
just
just
came
crossed
through.
the. So it Energy just crossed the 200,000 stream
Nice.
line maybe a few days ago. So that's actually doing pretty well. And then I have Emotion that was produced by Busy Made. So pretty much both of those singles I'll be pushing for like the next 60 days. Um, I've been struggling to be patient instead of dropping off a lot of music because I have like literally over 600 songs that I've
Oh,
done in the past
wow.
like 3 years. So it's really just trying to like, all right, let me sit down and just promote these records, you know, which are like I said, they're doing very well right now. So it's been pretty exciting to work with, all the people that I've been working with, from publicists to brand management. Shout out to Hari, my manager. Just working with passionate people that take their craft serious, and it's been definitely a instrument into what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, I think a lot of times artists make the mistake of actually putting out everything at one time and not understanding that you do have to focus on making sure that people hear this song over and over and over again, and they can become
Hmm.
familiar with you, they become familiar with you as an artist, with you vocally, like they'll be able to recognize your voice and when the song comes on and stuff like that. So I think that that's a great strategy to ensure, like, just take your time. I know you'd be like, yeah, I got all of this good stuff. I just want to go ahead and put it out there.
Yeah.
But I think that you and your team have a great strategy. So keep that up for sure.
Yeah, for
So
sure, for sure. Like I said, it's been really challenging to not put it out. I'm like, oh, so yeah.
gotcha, gotcha. Well, listen, I heard you talking earlier about you hang out with your shorty. You hung out with your shorty this
Mhm.
morning. So how old? You have a daughter, you said?
Mhm. Yeah, I have a daughter. She's now 8 months, and my son just turned 4 on last Wednesday.
Oh, you got little feet running around.
Yeah, for real. That's my little village.
So how do you incorporate like what you do for a living and how you go and whether you perform or whether you're going to to record, whatever it is, like how do you balance those things and how do you make things a priority?
Man, it's really just communication. With my girl and just kind of setting the expectation for the week. So like she knows that like, most of my work is done in the evening. So, she can pretty much, get everything she needs to get done. I can still, I'm at home with my daughter until like 4 o'clock when she gets off work. So,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? And then my son comes home from daycare. So I still get a chance to spend, hours with my kids every day. And like every time, Bubba comes home from daycare, we go on a walk. I take him to ride his bike. We go to the pool. We do something like every other day, at least every other day, if not every day. So, it's just really setting expectation for what's going on. And my girl Bria, she really respects, what I mean, what I'm doing. She understands, what's really going on. So, she doesn't, it's not like a thing to where I feel like I'm being slowed down per se with having a family. It's actually gave me more purpose, and it's a reminder every day of what I'm doing it for. Because like at the end of the day, it's a business, and we have to make sure that me personally, I put at least 8 hours a day into my business as if I had a regular job. So it's pretty much the norm. Like every day I come, every day around like 6, well, it's like 7, 8 o'clock. I'm going somewhere to do something productive, for the business. So, and so I have that opportunity to still pretty much get everything done, be in the studio till like 3, 4 in the morning, and get back up at like 8. When my daughter wakes up. So it wasn't easy, but it's just communication really. It's just
Right.
like I said, setting expectation for the week.
Right, absolutely, absolutely, and that's and that probably contributes to your energy, right?
Hmm.
Contributes to how all of that flows and
For
all of that
sure.
good stuff. And speaking of energy, I want to talk about your new song, Energy, and I want to know like what inspired it, and then we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna play a clip from it from your video.
Hmm. Okay.
So tell me, what inspired Energy?
So it was really like I didn't really put any thought originally into the idea. It was more like just another day in the studio. Um, but Drum was like, he was like, man, like, so we already know that you can make these kind of songs. So like, let's do something that's different. Let's do something that can, that kind of expand into those international markets. Kind of get into those waters. The Jamaicas of the world, the Sierra Leones. Kind of getting into a vibe that we can take to Miami.
Right.
And honestly, like I said, like at first, it definitely wasn't the song that I was going to choose to do my rollout, to start my rollout with. You know what I mean? Just because, like, I didn't really see the big picture and the vision. So, when obviously having a mentor like Drum, I'm like, I'm gonna take what he says into consideration. So I'm like, no, let's like what you're saying makes sense. Let's go ahead and roll it out. And it's been my most successful song, yet. Data wise. So, it was really something like, you know, for me, I'm big on energy. You know what I mean? And like vibes. So it's like, it's just kind of manifesting, you know, that into existence of being like, if like I have a really good, strong sense of discernment, you know what I mean, when I'm around people. So it allows me to, properly calculate who I need to be around. And it's like if you're not giving me a good energy, it can't be a vibe.
I
You know what I'm saying?
completely
So like
agree with
that's really
that.
what the song is about.
Well, that's dope. Listen, shout out to you. Shout out to Drummer Boy. Let's go ahead and get into it. It's energy, y'all.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Fire with the energy. Time in it. I serve. Welcome back. Yeah. So fine, what comes first? The vibes or the energy? The time in between. So fine, I'm concerned that you're gonna smash on me, that you gon' get the best of me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Your comfort in knowing who you are. I'm watching, I'm toxic. No need to know about, I know everything about you. I sense that you're testing with lessons. So fine, what comes first? The vibes or the energy? The time in between me. So fine, I'm concerned that you're gonna switch on me, that you gon' get the best of me. Some people in pain don't always see things as clearly as they should. Should tell me a lie in exchange just to make me feel good.
Circles make you move with connection. I lead your nights, make you impress. Move, shake your beach, make it intense. Circles make you move with connection. I lead your nights, make you impress. Move, shake your beach, make it intense. Yeah. So find what comes first. The vibes or the energy. The timing been killing me. So fine, I'm concerned that you're gonna switch on me, that you're gonna get the best of me. Yeah, yeah. I know you like it, know you like it, know you like it anytime. Yeah. Say something. Open and say something. Yeah. Boom, boom. I take it to the boom room. Pulling out new tools, new tools, new tools, new tools. Come first. Energy, on the vibes. Give me some of your time. Make it worth it, worth it. You do the things you do because you know you can get anything.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I see you. I really love that vibe. We've actually had that in rotation, so it's such a dope vibe. Like I'm here for it. I'm here for it. It gives you that island
Yeah.
feel, and then you had your I see you with your little
Yes.
island shirt on, with your shirt
Uh, uh,
open.
uh, uh, uh.
Right, right.
Yeah,
I'll
you see what
definitely
I'm
that's
saying? I wanted
definitely
to
a
bring the
vibe.
yeah, yeah. I wanted to bring the vibe and the energy. It's like I wanted to connect, to the listeners through visuals. I really, so we had to go to Miami to shoot it, and as you can see, drum flew in, and we got a chance to, get everything out. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad how it turned out.
Good. It turned out spectacular. I think it was definitely a good vibe, definitely good energy, and the song is good. Like the song is just it's perfectly timed. So I'm here
Yeah.
for it. So shout out to you and in that. But those of you who are listening live, if you're listening live on hot7025fm.com, if you're listening on any of our apps, or if you're on Streama, listen, go ahead and click that share button, tell your friends about us. And then don't forget to stream, okay? And go ahead and press that play button. Anything Sean Cassidy, go ahead and show this king some love because he got some dope vibes
For
for
sure.
us. So, do you have like an anticipated date that possibly you want to put an album out? I'm just saying.
So I mean, it's a lot of people, honestly. Like I said, at this moment, I'm just kind of like just putting in the work. You know what I mean? Because it's like like people that I even know that they'll be like, hey, you should hit up this person. You should. I'm like, nah, like I'm a more organic person. You know what I mean? So like any work that I like to do, I like it to make sense. Like at the end of the day, this is a business first. So things may not be as as good as it would have been if you guys have waited, to actually make whatever business that you have make sense. So it's definitely a lot of people, even from crossing genres to like Borns and like AJR, people that probably don't know who those people are. You know what I mean? But it's like I'm really into just creating timeless music. Like yeah, again, it's cool, all the spotlight and all that, but I already had a good taste of what that is. You know what I mean? As far as being meaningful to the university for playing basketball, across Alpha at a small HBCU. You know what I mean? So I've already had an opportunity to kind of be in the spotlight and know how to handle it, and and to exceed expectation when that spotlight is put on you. You know what I mean? So
Right.
yeah, so I mean, like, definitely, like, Tory Lanez. I want to do some stuff with J. Cole, just people that, like, that I'm inspired by, of how they, Tory is uncancel himself through, you know what I mean, through like working
Yeah,
though,
yeah,
for real.
you're gonna have to wait till his cancel is over. Like it seemed like it's
Nah,
almost over.
it's over, man. He done did three historic things in the past like month. He's sold 1 million albums in 57 seconds. You know what I mean? And like really changing the game and doing everything by himself. directing all his videos, and you know what I mean, like just really putting the work in. Same thing with the baby, you know what I'm saying? Like the label don't really help him a lot. They have budget, but like he's the one that's really being like, okay, let's do 3 videos a month. Let's go and do this. Let's hit the last video he dropped with Lil Wayne. He directed that. You know what I mean? Like the expectation from the label ain't he's exceeding expectations, of the label, and he's making them catch up to what he has going on. And I'm really inspired by that because again, like I have a whole production team and I have managers and all this, but it's like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? How are you pulling the cart? You know what I mean? What work are you actually putting in instead of waiting on somebody to do the work for you and then getting mad because you're not getting the results that you're getting?
Right. And I think that that's something that you just have internally. I was having some conversations about this last week. Like, listen, you either got it or you just don't. Like, you know what I mean? It's like it's something that's really in you. Like you can try to instill those, values and that, that level of like grind in other people, but if they don't have it, they just don't have it. So I'm glad that you have that in you. So listen, are you looking to get signed by a major label? Are you wanting to stay independent? Because a lot of these artists they're like, please drop me from my label so I can go independent.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, like for me, honestly, like I want to stay independent because I know my worth and I can create at that. Like again, I'm really setting an expectation of what I can do, by myself. And obviously, you have a team when you're independent, but it's deeper into understanding your publishing, understanding what power that you have, to the industry. Like for instance, I have over almost 700 now songs that I recorded. That's on my hard drive. So it's like now, I can be approached by Sony or Universal or Columbia. You know what I mean? To hey, we wanna sync your music for 10 years. Here's 3-4 million, and I still own my master, so I get that back in 10 years. You know what I mean? So it's really about having a deep discography, um, that you can value, that you can have, and being independent. Like look at Rihanna, like what she did with Fenty. Like yeah, she signed to a label, but she was able to take that fan base, those core people, and she can sell dish rags. It don't matter, but they you know what I mean. Like they support her, they love her. So now, like that's what I'm really trying to do as an independent is really build that core fan base because it's like if you have 1,000 people that'll buy everything that you release, then you know what I'm saying. You're making a living off of your music, and then you have that fan base just like 50 Cent. After he's done doing music, he can move to production, and that same core 25 million people in the world will support that because they support him. And it's like with a label, I think they really take that power away from you because now you're giving them 20% of nothing to distribute your music when I already have distribution. So why would
Right.
I sign to a label if I already have distribution, I already have a manager, I already have a publicist that used to work, that been working in that industry for 25 years. You know what I mean? So I'm not about to sign to a label and have an A&R in my ear telling me how fire I am, gassing me up, and then you got 2 interns they hired to work for you, and you think you have to support the label, and you really don't. You know what I mean? You really out here by yourself, and it's like if you don't put that work in, you're still giving away 70% of your revenue. You don't own any of your masters, and you can't. It's hard to take that core fan base and translate it into future business opportunities.
Absolutely. I completely agree with everything you just said. So I think that that's something that's super important for independent artists to understand, like their value. And then too, like like we have some people, I think it was Lil Baby, um, I think it was, that said that he has a 70-30 deal, where he gets 70%, 30%
Mm-hmm.
goes to the label, and then he owns all his masters, so on and so forth. So essentially, probably for that additional push, but he's essentially an independent artist and was up until that point. So I think I think you're on the right track. I like that. I like your drive. I like everything that you have. And one thing that you said that was extremely valuable is like people really invest in you. They really don't give a shit about, like, listen, I started this radio station. We
Yeah.
we now have 2.1 million listeners. And shout out to everybody who supported. Like, really, they supported me. Like, they probably could care less what was on the station, but they pressed play. You know what I mean? And it is because you
Exactly.
sell yourself essentially. So shout out to me and shout out to you for being you. And I think that that's important too, because like me, paying attention to your Instagram and things like that, like you feel like you get to know people, you feel like you kind of get to know their personality. And I think like the most important thing, especially for people who are going to become your fans and things like that, is seeing you smile. Like that part, like, will lock people in, because they already can embrace your energy without even touching or feeling you, or even before they hear one of your songs. So keep that energy, keep that
Right,
good,
right.
like those good vibes and all of that.
And that's why a lot of people they be like, man, the industry's so different now. It's so weird because you don't have to have good music. Yeah, you have to like you don't know what people are gonna like. They like you. Like again, like when you buy Mercedes, you don't buy Mercedes because you like that specific car. No, you buy Mercedes because of the brand perception. Like you
Hmm.
know when you buy Mercedes, you're gonna have you know the latest and greatest tech. You know you're gonna have the most safest car on the road. They invented airbags. You know what I mean? It's the brand perception you buy. You know when you go to the store and you buy toothpaste, you know if it's Colgate, you're not checking the back of the box to see if it has certain chemicals. It's Colgate. It's gonna work. You know what I mean? At that point, you're trying to figure out what flavor you like. You know what I mean? So, like that means a lot. You know what I mean to me to be able to have a platform such as Instagram and have these media outlets to where you can make people fall in love with you. You can make the connection. Like I was listening to this guy talk about media marketing, and he said just by opening up more to your fan base, you never know who's going to attract to that. Like for instance, gamers are only like 0.003% of America. Gamers, like video gamers.
Hmm.
But if you went on the air and you said, "Hey, I'm a gamer," you just got 30,000 fans because they have that connection with you. Like you know what I mean? Like I like him because he plays the game, or I like him because he skates. You know what I mean? So it's like having the opportunity to be able to show people more of you and being comfortable with that. Like, I'm not gonna sit up here and dress a way that I don't dress. I'm not gonna do things that I don't normally do. Like this is like a lifestyle. So like I'm comfortable and confident in the things that I already have. You see what I'm saying? That'll get me to that level, and I'm gonna connect with those things that are me, not like these fabricated, personas or running out in Walmart with my drawers on, dumping milk on my head. Like I would never do that shit. So why would I? Why would I do that? I'm not about to be a slave to what people think they want. They don't know what they want until you give it to them.
Right. And I appreciate that. And I, encourage you to continue to be authentically yourself each and every day. Cause that's the way that you're going to, reach the level of success that that you want to. So shout out to you. Listen, what can we expect next? We're about to wrap this thing up, but I want to know what can we
Hmm.
expect next? We have any exclusives on any singles that might come out next? I don't know. What can you share? What can you share
Yeah.
with us?
Yeah, for sure. That's a good question. So I actually I've been using YouTube plentifully in the past like month, right? So like now of course with YouTube you can do covers and different things that are that creatively so I've been releasing like at least a cover a week that's exclusively on YouTube. I've been covering doing covers for Drake's CLB album. You know what I mean? So like
Hmm.
girls want girls, Bible, TSU, and just really giving my fans, uh, something to kind of keep them engaged and basically show them what else I have to offer. That like these aren't, like basically being able to show them how much work that I'm really putting in. Like for energy, I recorded energy, cool. Well, I had a EDM version made and I had an acoustic version made. So then I go to the park somewhere with my guitarist and we record a live version of the song. You know what I mean? And doing a video recording of it. So it's just really like being able to use like YouTube. So if you guys want to, see anything in exclusive content or anything, I am Sean Cassidy is my YouTube, and like I said, I update it weekly with lyric videos and just different variations of music that I've already put out. just to show appreciation for the support that you've already been giving for the music that I've been promoting.
Dope. Listen, Sean Cassidy, I appreciate you stopping through Hot 7025. And, we are the hottest station on the planet. We play the hottest music on the planet. And,
For sure.
Sean Cassidy is in rotation, energy, produced by Drummer Boy. So we definitely are going to get that in. I appreciate you stopping through. When you come through Vegas, you're going to have to stop at the radio station and say what's up and, hang out with us. I definitely want to see your face in person for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, definitely reach out to me. Like I only really work with people that I've met and I had the opportunity to make a connection with. So you know what I mean. I'm always down to work with you and to explore new business ventures.
Absolutely. Tell the people where they can follow you on social media.
So Sean Cassidy, you can follow me on any social media platform at I am Sean Cassidy. Whether it's Twitter, whether it is, of course, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. So I am Sean Cassidy is how you can find me. And like I said, definitely reach out to me because, I'm open to connect. I respond on comments. I really want to get to know my fans and get to know the people that support me. So definitely reach out.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, Sean Cassidy, go ahead and hit that follow back button when you get a chance on Facebook. And listen, I'm looking forward to more music from you. Looking forward to connecting with you. All right. So, Peace King, you take care. Shout out to everybody who's listening
For
live.
sure.
Hot 7025fm.com. We out.